Hello, comrades. This is Detectfanive. Yeah, I'm pretty upset with this recent event about VShojo. I don't know much about VShojo itself, beyond the VTubers I follow. But the pattern of them leaving during the spring and summer were concerning. Did I know it seemed suspicious? Yeah, because the VTubers were leaving one after another during spring and the summer. I remember it being like Madara, Giga, and Centrea. And there's probably more. Now, was I aware of this company and their possibly alleged shady practices? No. No, I wasn't. My focus was always on some of these VTubers who genuinely put a smile on my face. They're the ones who consistently interact with their community, bravely branch out with their talent, and show genuine care and love for their friends and family. I know some of you might be thinking, well, what about this VTuber? Or what about that VTuber? Did you care about them too? First, I want to highlight that I did say some of these VTubers. Not all, but some. But honestly, that's not what this is about. This is Ironmouse's video about why she left VShojo. Now, did I already watched it and script my video? Yeah, that's why I'm mad. Because VShojo has hurt Ironmouse and many other VTubers. I would even go as far as to say that this company hurt the VTubers community, not because of the VTubers, but the company itself. As for my script, you better believe I scripted this because I was already emotional. But if I'm being honest with myself, I just didn't want to say something dumb or have my words taken out of context and be clipped. But, welcome to the internet where cyberbullying is real. Why, you may ask? Who freaking knows? All I know is I know what bullies are like. And let's be real, they should have a license just to use social media because damn has the internet been toxic as hell. I wish I was kidding. Anyways, moving on. Because the main point, again, is my feelings towards how they treated their VTubers. Because these VTubers were inspiration to me and how I became a VTuber. And I didn't want to say how I was feeling immediately on the spot. Because one, I lack social skills. I am fully aware of that. And I knew I was going to be overwhelmed with emotions. But also because some of these VTubers treat their community with so much love and kindness. That is why I want to make sure this video and my opinions were carefully thought out on how I was feeling, especially when Ironmouse was apologizing in this video of hers because it's not her fault. And I'm really hoping justice will be served for her and for everyone else affected. With all that said, I will do my best to react to the video that I will be discussing as kindly as possible.
I am leaving VShojo. Unfortunately, I recently found out that for the past couple of months, I have been misled by VShojo with the information that I currently have, I believe that I am owed a significant amount of funds which I have not been paid. And most
Okay, first off, all right? Ironmouse will only speak with what information she has now, meaning she is being very cautious, okay? And as she should be, because they are possibly under contract with that company that could possibly be used in court against her if she's not careful, along with the other VTubers. So, I'm just going to say this. Don't harass them because they are already having a hard time as it is without you guys pestering them with questions. I'm sure in due time they might talk about it a bit more after all of this is over, or not at all. I think it's best if we just support them as they have supported us in making content for us, the audience, and I'm sure they're still going to do that for us. And that's probably the best thing we can do. I know we're worried about them and their situation, but I truly believe they need their community to support them in their tough times, okay?
importantly, the thing that hurts me the most is that the Immune Deficiency Foundation, which is the most important charity to me, and also the reason why I'm here today, is owed over $500,000 from VShojo. I know that this is a lot, and it's very important for me to be honest with all of you. I really want to tell you everything, but unfortunately, right now, I have been instructed by my attorney to wait for more of the legal procedure to unfold. So,
Okay. This is the part where I'm upset and why I had to write out my thoughts rather than speak out on the spot. Because let me tell you, right now, you'd be hearing a very angry me going from a complete breakdown to absolutely flaming up in this situation. But, like I said, I'm gonna do my best in doing this as calmly as possible. Maybe. Possibly. Who the frick knows? So, when Ironmouse said she believed that she is owed significant amount of funds, which she has not been paid, it's suggesting to us audience that she isn't getting the earnings she deserves. And how much would that be? Honestly, that's not any of our business to know, other than knowing how upsetting that is to us, because most of these VTubers that we look up to or appreciate in our day-to-day lives are being treated harshly from this company. Which is why I said earlier, this company is not only hurting the VTubers, allegedly, possibly, but having their community find out how messed up this is by mistreating these wonderful, talented, beautiful VTubers. And for what? For greed? Are we kidding right now? These VTubers pour out their talents and connect with millions. But what really hurts is not only did VShojo possibly allegedly hurt these VTubers, but they hurt some of us that were blinded by this company's greed without realizing how much our favorite VTubers were suffering silently, putting a brave face for our sake. And there probably still are. However, I think What truly hurts Ironmouse and the others, probably even more than their own unpaid funds, is the immune deficiency. Is the Immune Deficiency Foundation charity that VShojo allegedly, possibly hasn't paid them, which was over $500,000 that was raised. Because this is a part of Ironmouse's identity. And to think that VShojo did this behind her back, as well as behind the back of other VTubers, streamers, YouTubers, and etc., who were very supportive of helping this cause or helped raise awareness, for it is downright cruel and disgusting if this is truly the case, because ugh. I'm not even a minute into this video, and to be frank, I personally can't see how this company can regain trust after this. If these allegations are true, because I don't see how anyone can ever trust them again, they've literally backstabbed so many people, the VTubers themselves, a vital charity, fellow streamers, YouTubers, their own community, and who knows who else. I'd rather not find out, because this is already absolutely pissing me off. You know what's amazing about this video? Is that Ironmouse didn't have to speak about this at all. But it was very important to her to be honest with her community, even if she couldn't say all that she wanted to. Because she's trapped, as if in a birdcage. And I hope one day that cage will open for her to spread her wings out and say what she wants to say.
So, one day I will be able to tell you the full story. But for now, I just need to let you know that I will no longer be a part of VShojo. If you give me a moment of your time, I just want to tell you a little bit about myself. I know for a lot of people right now that this might be the first time you're ever watching me. I became a VTuber because I really wanted to make...
Ironmouse, this isn't my first time. I've been following you since COVID. And thank goodness I found someone like you that I followed, because I really wanted to do YouTube. But I couldn't, because I have very overprotective family. And I am very appreciative to know that VTubing was a thing. I'm well aware that you were not the very first one, but I am truly grateful that you've been an inspiration to a lot of your audience. And I'm pretty sure most of those audience became a VTuber thanks to you. And that they can be themselves. I don't know if you'll watch this, but I am truly, truly grateful to you. And I hope you know that.
friends. I was very lonely due to the fact that I have a primary immune deficiency disease called CVID. I basically have a low to near non-functioning immune system, which means I get sick a lot, and it caused me to remain isolated for long periods of my life. So then I found streaming, and I thought about giving it a try because I wanted to see if I could make some friends online, because I honestly couldn't ever leave my room. I never really expected to grow an audience or anything. It was one of the last things on my mind. I just thought that I would stream to, 5 to 10 people and just hang out from time to time, make some friends, play games, and just continue on with my life. but unfortunately, I was too scared to stream with my face. So, a friend of mine recommended that I try an app called FaceRig that would allow me to use an anime avatar to stream, and that's how I started VTubing. It took me a while to take it seriously and even begin to think about maybe being able to grow a community and even make this a career. I think I really started to take it seriously around the time when I was approached to join VShojo, and it was through VShojo that I was able to grow into the Ironmouse that I am today. When I was approached in 2020 and asked to join VShojo, it seemed like a good idea, but I honestly did not know if I could ever be a corporal VTuber because I felt like I just couldn't. In my mind, I saw myself as unhireable, which is why streaming worked for me. I had no boss, no strict rules, I had no hours, no expectations. It was all up to me, and due to the fact that I have lived my life chronically ill and being unable to do much of anything, I just felt like there was no way that anyone would ever take me or want me. For a while, I was struggling to make a decision because I was afraid about my anonymity and afraid about trusting people because I felt like every time I
Oh
put
my
my
gosh.
trust in people, it always ends in grief for me. So I was worried about expectations and a million and one other things. But
Okay. First, let's talk about her deficiency. Okay. When she talks about how she just wanted to make friends because she felt lonely, this experience of hers she tells every time always touched me. Always. Because she wanted friends and she felt so alone with the struggles she had to face every day. And the reason it touched me is because others are struggling about their self-worth. I did as well. And she felt so alone with the struggles that she had to face every day. And the reason it touched me is because others are struggling about their self-worth. And you have someone like Ironmouse who understands this. Sure, it may not be similar to whatever struggle it is, but she showed that it's possible to have friends and not feel so alone in this world. And to understand that people will notice your self worth, just as you understand others' self worth. I know Iron Mouse believes that VShojo has helped her grow. And though that may be true, I hope she knows deep down that people love her. Not for the company that she was in, but because she is honestly an entertaining, an entertaining, and a very sweet girl, and that she could see her own self worth. You could tell from the interaction she has had with other content creators and streamers that she is very sweet and selfless. And I know I talk a lot about self worth, but she really likes to point out how amazing her community is, or for others when they doubt their skills or in themselves. I just I just wish she can have more of that self worth or self love for herself. I know she does, but I just wish she would have more of that. And that is one of the reasons that VShojo company is boiling my rage and why I'm making this video in the first place. Hold on. Gosh. The amount of hate she has is ridiculous. And I know some of you may be like, oh, but this content creator had it far worse than her. Dude, this isn't a competition to see who had it worse, okay? And I like to point out that she doesn't start arguing back because this right here is true strength. Because it must take a hell of a lot of strength to hold back what you want to say in the moment they completely piss you off. I'm already mad. I'm making this video. And I'm trying really hard to hold back my anger. But it's really hard when something like this happens to someone like Ironmouse, who is very considerate, who's very kind, and doesn't deserve this, nor does any of the other VTubers that were in this industry. Anyways. Let's move on. Gosh.
I ultimately decided to join VShojo. It really pains me that I am unable to fully explain why I am leaving. But for right now, here's what I am allowed to share with you. I would always be told how important I was for the company, and I was always told that I was needed in order for the company to succeed. Although that was very positive to hear, it put a lot of pressure and a lot of stress on me to the point where I felt guilt-tripped into signing. I felt responsible for everybody. I felt responsible for staff and talent alike. And I felt like if I didn't do this and if I didn't stay, I was hurting everybody and I was destroying everybody's life. But this didn't feel right with me, and I began to feel extremely uncomfortable. As my viewers know, privacy has always been one of my biggest concerns. I've had a lot of scary experiences in my life, so one amazing thing for me was the fact that VShojo handled all my payments, and it meant that I never had to give out any of my personal information, so that was always a blessing to me. As time went on, I decided that I wanted to try to start pulling out my remaining funds because I wanted to start taking over my own finances. This is what led me to this point. Throughout the years, Connor...
Okay. Oh. If you still support VShojo after hearing all this, I seriously urge you to reflect. You to reflect on why. Because to me, any company that would do this, if true, doesn't deserve that loyalty at all. I'm serious. Ironmouse can't say everything she wants to say. That pains her. Do you know how messed up that is? And how she has this burden on her shoulder because they manipulated her to keep their company alive. Sure, they didn't literally put a gun up to her head, but they did so metaphorically because she felt responsible for the staff and talent and like. I don't know for sure, but having this come out, I have a theory. And I need to be clear. This is just my theory. So don't go misquoting me saying Ironmouse confirmed this. No. My theory is some of these VTubers left knowing the situation around Ironmouse and probably among other things that we're not aware of as of yet. And they knew how responsible she felt in all of this. So they made it easier for her to leave this company by leaving first to make the burden on her shoulder feel a little weight being left off her shoulder. Again, I'm not sure, but that's what I like to believe has happened. But I don't know. Also, if you don't think at this point Ironmouse is selfless, then I can't help you because she clearly gives a VShojo a plus for not giving her personal information out there. Which is nice, but it's not going to change my mind how cruel they are right now at this moment. At least what is to be believed. Or I'm so sick and tired of trying to say this. They should be at the very least grateful that Ironmouse even gave them a plus when she didn't have to. I'm so glad we're almost done because I am.
And I have raised around $4 million for the Immune Deficiency Foundation. The majority of the money raised is through tiltify at events like the cyclothon, the charity auction, and other miscellaneous events that we've had. However, because of the success of my first subathon, I decided to donate half the earnings of my following two subathons to the Immune Deficiency Foundation. The first time I tried this, it worked great. Over 200,000 people supported me, and because of that, we raised over $329,350 to the Immune Deficiency Foundation. Because the money came from my Twitch revenue instead of a tiltify link, it required VShojo to make the donation on my behalf. They promptly sent the payment, and the subathon was a huge success. So I decided to do it again the next year. My last subathon was one of the biggest events I've ever done. The support was overwhelming, and I ended up getting over 300,000 subscribers and breaking the all-time sub record. But this also meant that we had raised $515,000 for the Immune Deficiency Foundation. I once again asked VShojo to make the donation on my behalf, but unfortunately, still a year later, VShojo has not paid the charity. The Immune Deficiency Foundation means the world to me. Connor and I have both spent a ton of energy, time, and resources raising money for charity. And we're both so proud to be able to say that we've raised nearly $4 million for charity. We almost always raise money for the Immune Deficiency Foundation. They help people with primary immune deficiency diseases, or PI, which are inherited disorders where a part of the body's immune system is missing or doesn't function properly, which makes people like me more prone to infection. And this includes over 450 different conditions. The Immune Deficiency Foundation is a charity that is near and dear to my heart and has a particular significance in my life. When my health first started getting really bad, the Immune Deficiency Foundation helped me immensely when I really had nowhere else to turn. I was terrified, I was lonely, and I was confused. I honestly didn't really know what was going on, and I never ever want anyone else to go through that. This entire situation has broken me.
I'm trying so hard right now. Do not get so angry at this. This is so frustrating that someone like her has to go through this. The people in that industry has to go in this.
I just wanted to do something good and to give back to a community that helped me. But unfortunately, that's not the case. As much as I would like to continue to talk about this, unfortunately, I can't. So, to recap, I believe that I am owed a significant amount of funds, which I have not been paid. And most importantly, the Immune Deficiency Foundation is owed over $500,000 from VShojo. I really wish that I could tell you more, but right now, I have been advised to wait for legal proceedings. As of right now, I am an independent VTuber. I am at a loss of what to do right now. I'm kind of.
This. This is how she finds out about their. Oh my goodness, I can't. She put her trust in this company, believing that they had her best interests, only to realize that she was nothing more than a pawn in their game. This is what I mean. This is disgusting to me. She felt like she had no self-worth. She mentioned how she didn't know if she could ever be a corporal VTuber because she felt like she couldn't. And in her mind, she saw herself as unhireable. Do you see how heartbreaking this is? That's why I emphasized earlier in my video, they need their community to support them in their tough times. I hate that she feels responsible for this and that she's trying to carry all this burden alone. But I grateful that she has a wonderful community and her friends that have her back. So all that burden doesn't leave her feeling utterly alone. You know? Oh gosh, sorry. This is what she wanted. She wanted to be a VTuber, to make friends, because she felt lonely because of her immune deficiency disease. Now she has that. So I hope she sees the self-worth in herself as we do. because I know and I'm sure those of you who know of Ironmouse know she will rise higher, as well as the other VTubers. Oh, thanks for hearing me out. Carrying my personal opinion also when I speak about the VShojo company. I hope you understand. I don't mean all of them, since I'm not sure entirely who's in charge of this, what is happening, what is going on. But the fact that they hurt the VTubers that were in that industry for whatever reasons they can't speak of, that is what I'm upset about. Because they're dealing with a lot of crap. And having to make content and having to deal with a lot of other things on their plate, it's already a lot. And I hope that they're doing okay. So please reach out to them, comment, do anything really to be there to support them. Anyways, yeah, I just had to express it because I was so frustrated, and I am so glad to let it all out. Now, please go subscribe to Ironmouse to prove to this crappy situation that VShojo isn't needed for her success, because she is a powerful woman without their help. Share Ironmouse's video, not mine. Let's be clear, not mine. Hers, not mine. Okay? So others are aware about the situation for good. And please go donate at this link. That will also be in the description. Also to prove that we support Ironmouse, the charity, and for those who are in need of it. I'll leave it to you guys. And just so we're aware, Ironmouse, along with all the VTubers that were part of VShojo, have said they can't speak of it at the moment, so there's a possibility they will, and if so, just be there for them. I'm sure they need their community, and I'm sure they need to know that they're not alone, and that they're going to be okay. So, yeah. And yeah, that's all I have to say. Thank you. And I hope you all have a wonderful, beautiful, and an amazing day. I'm not kidding. Love you, comrades. Bye.